Elizabeth Biskobing and Mr. James L. Russell Jr., who were selected by the class of 2024 as the distinguished faculty speakers. Mrs. Biskobing, or Bisco as most know her, will be retiring with the class of 2024 after 25 years of teaching English at South Milwaukee and 35 years total teaching. Mr. Russell, who has taught social studies at South Milwaukee for 23 years, will be oh so lost without her. But he says that he'll be fine.
Congratulations to the class of 2024. As a history teacher, it is important to talk about the significance of June 6th. Today marks the 80th anniversary of D-Day. As we remember the impact of that day, savor the freedom provided by those who made that sacrifice. I was honored when I found out I was selected by the senior class to be the faculty speaker. Immediately, I pondered what I was going to say, what could they take away from my speech, and how could I impart knowledge to help guide them on their next journey. This was all great until I found out that I'd be sharing this speech with another teacher. Initially, I thought they could be interested, but I found out that I'd be speaking with Elizabeth Irene Biskobing. All kidding aside, what a tremendous honor to be speaking with someone who has done nothing but ridicule me for almost a quarter of a century. Made fun of my teaching, my clothing, what's left of my hair, and even my coaching. In all honesty, her rude truth has made life exciting, and I know I'll miss our friendship that has grown stronger each year we have worked together. Our friendship has really grown into an expansion of family. Baptisms, adoptions, birthday parties, holiday gatherings, graduations, funerals, and even divorces. She has always been there for me in her own kind of way. Why am I sharing all this with you? Well, it is a life lesson. People come into our lives at different times, and sometimes we don't realize how important it is when this happens. No. Nope. Allow me to add a few thoughts. Making friends and maintaining these relationships involves taking risks. Stepping out of your comfort zone, something you have done, whether you realize it or not, since you first started going to school. Sometimes with these relationships, we don't think about what they mean when we first encounter them. But what's important is that we realize that they are the basis for what we will learn throughout life. They become shared experiences that create even greater connections, and that's what creates meaning for us. Still going.
Yeah.
With a quarter of a century comes a lot of reflection, something we've tried to drive home as an important part of learning. Traditionally, we think of learning as what goes on in a classroom, but really, have you considered learning through observation? An act of kindness, such as helping a new student find their classes and sitting with them at lunch, inviting someone to sit with you at the football game, truly making it an inclusive environment by bringing all people together. This has happened countless times with this class, whether you knew we were watching or not. There is safety in numbers, and sometimes taking that risk to form relationships is well worth it. But you need to take that risk.
Still going.
This place, this experience has been yours, and while we realize that so many of you are over it, please take the time to reflect on why you are over it, and whether frustration and angst have more value than compassion and gratitude. You've experienced a free education, something not everyone fully understands the value of having. You've made lifelong connections, something so many, especially the lonely, haven't had the luxury of experiencing. You've begun paving the path for the rest of your life. Are you really over it? What more do you have to offer to this world, to humanity?
How about now?
There you go.
Okay. Please raise your hand if you absolutely love working in a group. Yep, see, got the thing. Okay, all right, good. Writing a speech with someone is not so easy. And if that someone is basically the brother that you've never wanted,
can only imagine what I've had to endure, right? But for some reason, I sense that those of you who selected the two of us were thinking that maybe this is the cage match that you've all been waiting for. You're here strictly for the entertainment. It's not going to happen this time. Sometimes we have to determine when to persist and when to throw in the towel. But that choice comes with a realization about oneself. You can encourage collaboration and even be pretty good at it. But when it comes to certain things, they might feel forced. So you each bring your strengths and hopefully reach the majority with your message. What I came to realize as well is that the two of us have, despite nearly a quarter century of friendship, different approaches to teaching, to learning, and, well, most everything else. I think that along with my soft, lulling voice, I have a philosophical approach to things. So my style is more of one that gets you to do the thinking and problem solving on your own. Whereas this guy is more direct. He's the type to say, hey, you guys need to do this because it's important and because I said so. That's awesome. But, well, he's not so wrong. What made this experience even more enlightening for us is that it highlighted what we've always felt about teaching. We're all actually learners who help each other understand. That led us to another realization. We've learned a lot from you. Humility goes a long way, and if we're to think we know everything, we're probably more insecure with ourselves than we'd like to admit. So here are some things that I'd like to add to what my esteemed colleague, James Lloyd Grossell Jr., has shared with you. He's right. He's right. This place, it's the first time I think I've ever said you're right about something, but this place, yep, this experience has been yours. What has worked for you? What went wrong along the way? What was fixable? Who was there for you when you needed the greatest help? Where were you when others needed help? You're book smart and you rely on common sense. How will you use your talents? You are young leaders with a voice stronger than most. On whose behalf will you speak? You are kind souls with humility beyond your years. Where will you carry out your good deeds? We love and have faith in you, and we know that each and every one of you can make a truly positive impact on others in this world. Hopefully we have helped you see this in yourselves, but do you see it? Surely your sense of relationship building began at home, and that brings out the mom in me, so please, I've done this before. Allow me this moment to give you some advice regarding your parents and guardians. Try and feel for them. Try to understand that when they ask you to have a seat with them, it's likely because they're recalling a time when they could hold you in their arms and read with you. When they ask you to go somewhere with them, they're probably remembering when you would get excited and tag along to the store, to the park, or to the zoo, or point out horses and cows on a car ride, and I know some of you still do. When they ask you to watch a show with them, it's likely that they recall snuggling up with you and eating popcorn while watching The Lion King or some other silly movie for the 100th time. Know that as you feel the push to move forward while still feeling the pull backward, you are experiencing exactly what they are feeling. Try to understand and lean on them as you navigate your own paths. Some of you might yearn for this because you no longer have it, and we see you.
What we wish for our students every year is that they, you, will know the potential that lies within because of what you've experienced at this point in your lives. Whether sweet or bittersweet, you will know the impact of this place, these walls, the fields, the courts, the stage, these people, and use this as a basis for the people you will become. You owe it to yourselves to find out who you really are and to become that person, yet appreciate every experience along the way, knowing that each is a touchstone to being fully you. May the sea of red that you notice all around you tonight stay etched in your minds, and may whatever vivid memories you take away from this night and this place be reminders of where you've been and whom you will become. And we will wait to hear of your triumphs, pains, sorrows, and joys.
The beauty of writing together allows you to laugh, cry, and then find a common place to land. One of my favorite books is The Little Prince. It's kind of a children's book. Perhaps this section from it will add perspective to how you might want to move forward in life. It is madness to hate all roses because you got scratched with one thorn. To give up on your dreams because one didn't come true. To lose faith in prayers because one was not answered. To give up on efforts because one of them failed.
To condemn all your friends because one betrayed you. Not to believe in love because someone was unfaithful or didn't love you back. To throw away all your chances to be happy because you didn't succeed on the first attempt. There will always be another opportunity, another friend, another love, a new strength.
For every end, there is always a new beginning. And now here is a secret, a very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Everything is going to work itself out. It'll all be fine. So on behalf of the faculty and staff, congratulations, class of 2024.